Season 4, Keys to the Queendom. Let's actually just have a quick little recap for how 2024 ended.
Welcome to the Queendom.
2024 was... can't wait for it to be done. For the next few series, what I wanted to really prioritize for you guys is selling. Sales for 2025. So what is your relationship like with selling? Or even what do you do when it comes to your sales training? Now, a lot of people feel like sales is scripted, it's regimented, it's icky, but sales is serving. So some things I want you to ask yourselves, because we will go into the foundations of selling and how to sell, is this. Season 4, Keys to the Queendom. I am your host, Tamara Meyer, here at The Nest in Burleigh, and this is one episode that I'm really excited to be bringing forward. Let's actually just have a quick little recap for how 2024 ended. And this is all for anyone that's watching, listening, driving in the car, and I want you to think, fuck me dead. 2024 was honestly a year where it was like... I think everyone has this like, can't wait for it to be done. Yet the energy that I really want to bring in for this episode for 2025 is how can we continue the momentum and what is it that we're going to be wanting to achieve for this year? So for the next few series, what I wanted to really prioritize for you guys is selling. Sales for 2025. Sales, whether you're a service-based entrepreneur, whether you're a coach, business owner, starting out, I think it's the most important thing to brush up your skill set. That may have hit the mic. Brush up your skill set and make sure that you are now in the game as someone who can sell. So let's get into the episode. Now, before we do, I have a big favor to ask you guys, and that is this. If you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel, because one of the biggest things that we really want to bring forward for Season 4 and the theme for this year, which is all to do with integration, is really being able to help more of you when it comes to your business, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're someone who has gone from being stagnant to accelerating. You know, everyone who has been in our podcast, our guest speakers, including the level of work that I want to give back to you guys, it's all to do with based on you helping me get more reach. So make sure you do subscribe, and that's going to help us grow even more for 2025. So what is your relationship like with selling? Or even what do you do when it comes to your sales training? When I was a dancer, how we used to sell our bodies, and I'm not saying from a place of stripping or sex industry, but performing, we had to be perfect. We had to be number one, and we had to constantly improve on our skill set, how we do our techniques with dancing, how we held presence, how we were able to mirror and mimic and practice and pick up things and cues. The same analogy goes when it comes to sales. Now, a lot of people feel like sales is scripted, it's regimented, it's icky. Hands up if anyone can resonate with that. But sales is serving. And one of the best things I have learned, and why I've been able to make $500,000 hitting 7 for this year, and that's the goal, is because of my absolute consistency of selling daily, but actually upskilling in it. And this is the thing, when you think you're good at it, it means you need to get better at it. So some things I want you to ask yourselves, because we will go into the foundations of selling and how to sell, is this. Are you able to, one, hold a conversation with someone? When it comes to understanding someone you're talking to, let's say a prospect or even your best friend, do you watch their behaviors, what they're into, how their body moves? What are you looking at when they're saying one thing, yet their body, their eye contact is different? And so selling is an art form. It is how you're able to ask questions where you get the prospect to think in a certain way, but also shift belief. And so one of the great lessons I've learned from Daniel G, and this is something I want to teach you guys, is selling is.
How often have you said, I spent my whole life studying, I've been to school my whole life, and I've actually learned nothing that teaches me the tools and strategies to build a successful business in the outside world. You've probably spent thousands of dollars on courses, or you've heard fake news from business gurus. Well, I'm here to give this incredible news to everyone here right now that this is Queendom University. Get out of debt and actually start making money in the online space, knowing and having the foundations to build a successful business. Now, I'm talking because I have gone through the trenches. I have been a fitness coach, built my online business as a pro athlete, and now I am a business coach. You'll go from having absolutely no idea what your business is through, in the 8 weeks, learn the foundations of knowing what your purpose is, your vision and mission, and also understanding your business values with the execution to know what that business is. You'll also learn branding, social media, content strategy, marketing, and more importantly, how to sell. With Queendom University, it'll cut out the bullshit and remove all the fluff and get you working specifically on your business so you can execute this in 8 weeks to get ready to launch. I wanted you to have something where you get to access something straight away, where you get to fast track your growth, as well as remove any doubt, any overwhelming sensation or stress, or the question that everyone seems to ask, where do I begin? With Queendom University, you'll be able to build wealth, freedom, and at the end of the day, be an entrepreneur and be able to say, I have finally built my own thing, my own business. And I've stopped making money for someone else, and I'm now making money for my own empire. Queendom University.
Organism. And if you're not training the muscle, or if you're not doing the reps, when it comes to having someone that is on the other end that says, I'll think about it, no, this isn't me, or gives you that first kind of energy where they're like, just tell me the price point, I just want to get through this call nice and quickly, your body's going to go in certain elements. So we really want to really start that when it comes to building the foundations of sales is how you are as a person. So let's actually look at the first rule to selling. Number 1, your belief systems. How are you within yourself? How are you practicing your energy, physiology, and focus every single day? When I shifted from fitness coach to business, and I talk about this story quite often, I think about the uncertainty, the I sucked mentality that I had in selling, and how little I knew when it came to jumping on a call with someone. And of course, as a fitness coach, I used to do it, but it was a very different price point. And a lot of the times when I got people on a call in sales for weight loss, a lot of the times I said yes. The thing that changed was 2 things: the identity I had within myself going from fitness to business. And the second thing is, was I good enough to sell? Did I know my skill set in how to coach someone in business? Did I have the social proof and results? And so one of the biggest things I had to start doing was, 1, working on myself, which when you go from a new identity to another, that's almost like starting again. And even this year for 2025, I feel like I'm starting again because now I've built a team. I've got a videographer I work with. I've got an assistant. I've got a customer service manager. I've got a support coach. I've got someone doing ads. I've got Jordan also helping me with finance. So sometimes in this new identity as myself this year, I feel like I still need to upskill in those different areas. So for sales, I had to learn to, 1, become certain in the ability that I could sell. And the second thing I also had to learn was also loving to sell, loving sales. And I'm sure everyone listening who has either had a bad experience, or a lot of the times we will always have a good and a bad experience when it comes to anything. Just like Dr. John just like Dr. John DeMartini talks about, in anything, where there's good, there is bad. Where there's light, there is dark. Where there is a negative outcome, there's a positive outcome. Sales is the same. Yet for some weird reason, a lot of the times people, when they have that bad experience, they stop. or they say, or they feel that feeling of rejection or pain or shame or guilt makes them think, I never want to go through that again. And so I remember when I had my first bad experience, and even recently, you're quick to start to learn, not that the belief system's the one thing you need to work on, the certainty within yourself. It's learning to trust again that sales is something you have to master, but also learn to love. And that's a big rule. Now, the third thing when it comes to sales and learning the foundations of sales as well is honestly, yes, handling objections, which will be a completely different podcast episode in itself. But it's knowing that the objection isn't about you, right? And so I remember a lot of the times I used to get so angry when anyone I would jump on a call with, because I've done all this work on investing, working with people, I thought everyone's going to be like me. They say one thing, they then say another. And they would then say, I don't think I can go ahead with this. I don't have the money, the time. I'll think about it. I was so angry that I did all of the processes, that they still said no, which said one thing. I, one, didn't allow them to trust in my services. And the second thing I learned was that they didn't trust in themselves. So one of the third things I want you to remember in sales, and even just understanding when it comes to objection handling, it's not about you or them. It's the fact that you have to prove to them, let me rephrase that. You have to give them trust in themselves, but also show them that there's a future in you.
Beautiful kings and queens, are you right now in a space where you're ready to take action and build your business, yet you struggle where to begin? You're feeling stuck and overwhelmed with all the things you need to do when it comes to building a business. Build the business of your dreams in the online space and be in the arena of all the incredible, great humans out there that are building 7 to 8 figure businesses. Now, the foundations that I truly believe in that you are going to learn through this membership is sales, marketing, content creation, social media, money mindset, and of course, branding. Now, all of this will be accessible for you to be learning what is currently hot right now in the market and how you can create your own business and build a successful business in the online space. All you have to do right now is DM Empire in my Instagram or email myself and my team, and we will get the ball rolling so you can have your empire and start making moves in the online space.
And I've heard from a really great friend of mine, and I think this is a really great thing for you to write down, is leaving nothing left unsaid. And into the fifth thing when it comes to sales and the foundations is not allowing the no to be the no. Meaning, if they say no, it doesn't always mean a no. If they are saying it's too expensive, that doesn't mean they're saying no. If they're saying I need to speak to my spouse, that doesn't mean they're not interested. One of the things I've learned from Ryan Tuckwood, who I'm actually going to be interviewing very soon one day, is people have different defaults when it comes to buying behaviors. Some ask for a discount. Some people will always naturally say, I'll think about it. Some people make action straight away. And so we have to be good at being able to, when someone has an answer to an objection, we are able to, again, reframe and work through why they have said those three things, which we now know is always going to be around time, money, and belief. Now, the last thing I want to add, because the next series we're going to be talking about is also more about the pre-frame of sales and how to set yourself up for it, is that I don't want to say detaching from the outcome, but it's also being okay to qualify and not qualify someone that's on the other end, which means I used to be hungry for sales to the point that I would make a way out of no way for them to say yes. Not from an awareness that I was doing it to be manipulative. It was that I knew I could help them. I knew that I could get them the result, but they just weren't at the level that they were needing to be at to be committed enough to work for our services. And so we have to be good when it comes to a sales call to be able to say, I don't think that we're the right fit. However, this person for you is going to be the best thing for you. Now, one final piece, because again, this is a series of sales coming into 2025. And I just want you to know this. Sales will change your life. Sales is where you will go from making okay money to millions. Sales is where you can help your family get out of poverty. Sales is where I've been able to support my mum. Sales has been able to where I've helped and been able to have my partner work for me. Learning sales and being able to love sales has helped me now hire. And I think that's been the best thing now, having this relationship with sales and knowing that this is not an icky thing, a manipulation tactic. It's literally selling is to serve. And so this episode is now just to give you the enticement to now learn the frameworks that I'm going to be teaching you, some really nice ones in the next few episodes, on why you need to learn to sell, why you need to learn to sell, why you're going to be a gun at sales, and how this is going to change the trajectory of your life, and more importantly, bring you the wealth, freedom, and of course, the meaning of life. And so with that in place, I am your host, Tamara Maya. This has been the first episode of Season 4, Integration, Let's Learn Sales, and here is what we're going to be doing for the next episode. No sales at the moment, or low on sales. This is what we're going to be doing on our next episode. Tune in every Wednesday. Thank you very much.
I'm there for playing big today with authenticity, because here is the thing. It's not about being perfect on stage, perfectly put together, which is important, yes. It's about being who you are. What is right now, because of today, in a year's time, you could look back and go, I did that scary thing. And that's a year from now where you went and made that decision. I'm going all in, committed to doing the work. I'm committed because this is so much more than me. It's not about me anymore.